Timmy failure, mistakes were made. I gotta say, out of all the Disney Plus movies, this is probably the best because the ones that have been made have been ranged from pretty bad to like no name directors to just random crap or just stuff that's like it's nice but like I don't see the point of it. This is kind of actually decent. I have to say good. I think there's elements here that are really, really freaking great. Like, there are elements here I'm like, yes, this could be great if it had a better director. Or not director, but I'll explain the problems with the movie. The director here is actually pretty interesting. He's an indie director named Todd McCarthy. I've never seen a single film of his, never heard of it, but judging by the way this film is handled, directed, and the cinematography here, he must actually be a pretty good indie director. This is based on a book series called Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made. Never read this book series. It probably is a children's book series, so I'm not ever gonna read it because I'm not a child. And so what would be the point of reading the series, right? You know? But it's kind of cool idea. This kid, he kind of has this little company that he runs and solves mysteries in his town of Portland. But I think it's not very clear how much of this is in his head and how much he's imagining it. I'm sure this was more clear in the book. I didn't find it very clear here. Also, this movie is labeled as kind of a buddy comedy. It's not really a buddy comedy, and if it is, it's really hard to tell because I can tell there's moments where it's supposed to be funny, but it's not very good at like, oh, this is the funny part where I'm supposed to laugh. Like you have a hard time telling it. So I laughed at a couple chuckles in here, but it was very difficult to tell what was intended to be jokes. And I think most of that has to do from a lot of the actors not giving the best delivery. Like this kid is clearly trying. He's like that kid in Artemis Fowl. You know, it was a directing problem, but he, his face would lock up after every line. This kid's face doesn't do that. He's constantly actually trying. He's actually doing a pretty decent job. Like, what's this kid? He's like 10 years old. I think he's supposed to be in like this, 6th grade. He's going into 6th grade in this movie. So like 10, 11 years old, something like that. And he is doing a decent job. I think it just was a directing problem because he delivers his lines a little slow. But besides that, he's doing a decent job, and he's not insufferable to listen to. I do think he bogs down the movie because he's not quick enough for like a comedy, and it's kind of a comedy mystery type story. It's kind of quirky. It's kind of got a strange style to it, and some people may get into it. Some people may not. I recommend checking it out if it sounds interesting to you. The effects on the polar bear were not necessarily great, but for like a Disney Plus movie that probably didn't have that much money put into it, I think it's all right. I think it looks okay. I think this was one that was supposed to go to theaters. I'm not exactly sure, and if it would have gone to theaters, I think it would have been less acceptable. But as it is, it looks decent enough, and I think it's. I wonder if so. It's a series. I think it's a series of books. So I wonder if they're going to make sequels. And if they do, I wouldn't be against that. I want to see them maybe work it out, maybe make a better sequel, because the directing here is actually pretty fantastic. The cinematography and stuff is excellent, and I was really shocked by that. And I actually think this is a pretty decent movie. Let's go into my Disney Plus here. And how many more movies we got here? So, of course, I need to do Penguins. And the documentary thing goes with that. So, that's the two elephant movies. So, that's 4. I gotta do Stargirl, and I gotta do the Lady and Tramp original and remake. So I got what? I would say 7 movies to go through. Shouldn't take me that long. And, obviously there'll be constantly more Disney Plus movies coming out. And I will review every single one. I don't know how long I can keep that going, though. Because, eventually this service will become like Netflix, where there's so much coming out. And you can't always keep up with it. So right now it's okay to do. But I don't know how long I can keep that up. But for now, that's kind of what I'm doing because it's new. I want to explore what's contents on my service that I'm actually paying for, right? It's kind of a waste of money if you're not actually watching content on it. But so far, this is the best Disney Plus movie